Hello guys, welcome back. So now in this session, I'll start a topic called cash journal. Okay. Till now what we have done guys, till now we have done like we have seen we have done some configurations, right? We have done some configurations. After that testing part in the sense like after configurations we have posted certain transactions, right? While posting transactions we have seen that how system is going to like what is the exact use of field status variant, fiscal year variant, posting period variant, right? Everything. There is a use of every configuration, right? If you talk about the field control, the field controls are being done by posting key, field controls are being done by field status variant, field controls are being done by document type, field controls are being done by account group. So slight differences are there in every configuration, guys, right? That I have explained. So this is how people are going to check. If somebody is going to check your knowledge, of course they will not ask the configurations, right? They'll give you a scenario and then they'll ask the questions, right? Okay. So that is why it's taking time. The topic which can be covered in 5 minutes is taking 50 minutes. Okay. Now here, cash journal. So look at here. We'll see theoretically and then we'll see practically everything. So cash journal is used to manage the company's cash transactions. Okay, certain advantages there. Advantage of cash journal, like all cash transactions are available at one places. Okay, we'll see about the advantage and that I'll show you practically. So I'll tell you guys, first of all, if we talk about the cash journal, right? What is this cash journal? So look at here, cash journal is used to manage the company's cash transactions. Now the question is, so why separate configurations for this, right? Can't we post the transactions by using FB50 or FD02, right? But yes, that is possible. Even we can manage through FB50 also, right? But here SAP has given a separate configurations for this because if you talk about the cash related transactions, right? I'll tell you. So cash related transactions, then if you talk about the reports, a different kind of reports are required. Different kind of reports are required. So separate configuration is given by SAP. If we are going to use that one, then with the help of that, you can see daily report in the sense like how much daily in the sense like today. It's not daily. We can say today. Then week, month, and year period. Okay. It means today what is the total cash related transactions I'm talking about. When we talk about cash related transaction, guys, of course, most of the transactions are there in the form of expenses only. In terms of revenue, very limited number of transactions will be there. Most of the transactions are there in terms of expenses, right? So, like, so what is the total cash related transaction which is taken place today? If you click here, then today whatever the transactions has taken place, the list will appear. In this week, how much cash related transactions that can be viewed in a month or else period means here you can specify that 1st of February 2023 till 15th of February 2020. You can give a duration, and based on that also you can see. Okay, so this is how. Now, apart from this, there will be some other things also. Other what do you say, specialty also. What specialty I'll tell you. Let's suppose. Okay. So when you talk about, first of all, if you talk about the cash related transactions, right? Cash general means all the cash related transactions. Now, I'll tell you guys, if you talk about cash related transactions, so less number of transactions will be there. Cash transactions, less number of transactions, right? Because in companies, most of the transactions are happening on credit basis, right? Credit basis means what, guys? If we have to procure something, if you have to purchase something, you visit the market, you buy the goods or item, make the payment, come back to your home, right? Yusuf is saying accrual. Accrual in terms of accounting, what is the definitions and guys, it is like some differences will be there, right? Accrual. Okay. So will not go in the simple language I'm going to explain. In a simple language I'm going, so that whether you are from finance background, account background or non-account background, no problem. Everybody will be able to understand. So credit basis, the transactions are like, if I have to purchase a laptop, single piece, I'll visit the market, I'll make, some inquire 2-3 shops and all, and then finally I'll choose a particular product, a brand, and I'm going to buy. The moment I'm going to buy, I'll make the payment. Mostly immediately, right? When the Tata Motor has to purchase or procure, like let's suppose laptops, so they are not going to buy one pieces. They'll be ordering thousands of pieces, 2,000, 5,000 of pieces in order to distribute in their among their employees. Or desktop, they have to replace the desktop in their organization, so they'll be ordering 10,000 pieces, 5,000 pieces, right? So in that case, what is happening, guys? Those transactions are not taking place on cash basis, right? For that, what is happening? They are going to follow a particular procedure. There will be a process. That process is called P2P process. Okay. P2P means what, guys? It is called procure to pay. Everyone might be knowing about this. Very simple concept. If Tata Motor has to procure, then what is happening, guys? First of all, they are going to invite the quotations. Before that, like even other things also will be coming, like purchase requisitions, and these things will be there into picture. But in discuss, we are going in detail. We are going to discuss in detail. We are going to discuss in future in upcoming classes. There will be a topic called FIMM integration. Okay. So if we talk about this FIMM integration, guys, FIMM integration. So this FIMM integration is nothing but P2P configuration and testing only. Configuration of P2P process, procure to pay process. Okay. See, after configurations, if we are going to do particular configurations and all, what for? Of course, certain outcome after that configuration, certain outcome is there, right? So, FIMM integration means we are going to configure P2P process. Then we are going to test this entire P2P process, right? So, how the P2P process is going to be, guys? It is going to be like, let's suppose if somebody required, if Tata Motor is having requirement to procure a laptop or any particular material, right? So first of all, what will happen? They are going to raise a purchase requisitions. You can say it is an internal document, right? It means like they need approval from some higher authority, right? So in that context, we can say, okay. After that, like once it is approved by higher, whatever the authority or management is there, then what is happening, guys? So in that, like purchase requisition creation, then there'll be a release option also will be there. So we will not go in those details right now because it is going to create confusion. So okay, then once like let's suppose they got the approval, then after what will happen? Then after they are going to invite quotations, right? They are going to invite quotations from vendor. Dell is there, right? Let's suppose HP is there, HCL is there, right? So they're going to invite quotations from 3, 4, or 5 organizations. Everybody are going to send the quotations. After sending quotations, then what will happen, guys? After receiving quotations, they will match the quotations and they are going to select a best deal. Once they have decided that we'll go for Dell, then what is happening, guys? Then they are going to raise a purchase order. Or else, if the vendor is already finalized that no, we have to purchase from Dell India itself, then directly PO is going to be created. Okay. So first of all, purchase order is created. That is going to be sent to the vendor. And then after, once the PO got created, then the vendor is going to deliver the laptop, so-called goods. So that is going to be posted in the form of goods receipt here. And then it is going to be, and then they're going to send the invoices also, right? So if we talk about generally what happened, this is the example of laptop. If we talk about the materials, raw materials are going to be supplied somewhere. The storage locations will be somewhere, whereas the corporate office is somewhere. So raw material is delivered somewhere, right? But the invoice is sent to the corporate office, so there will be a time lag, right? That is why receipt of goods are going to be recorded separately, and invoice receipt is going to be recorded separately. There is a logic. Those things we are going to discuss later when I cover those topics. Okay, right now I'm just giving a brief, what do you say, this one example, small example of this one. So once we have received the goods and once we have received the invoice, then what will happen? Finally, payment will take place, right? And in between, so payment is going to take place. So generally, what happened from invoice, there will be some differences. Differences in the sense, like let's suppose, so if invoice we have received today, the payment is going to be posted. In the sense, payment is going to be released after 30 days, after 45 days, after 60 days. It could be anything. Okay. So it depends upon the terms of payment. The terms of payment. It depends upon the terms of payment agreed between Tata Motor and vendor. Okay. So look at here. Invoice is received. Let's suppose today the payment is going to happen. If the invoice is received on, let's suppose, 1st of January 2020, the payment is going to be made 31st of January, 30 days means 31st of January. And if the month is like 38, 30 days only, then 1st of next month, right? So let's suppose on this date, the payment is going to be made, right? If it is 60 days, then like that itself the calculation will happen. So this is called procurement is happening on credit basis. Whatever the raw materials are going to be, whatever materials or goods are going to be, bought, right, from vendor, even in terms of services also, the same thing, the similar payment, right? The invoice is posted today, payment is going to happen after some time, right? 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, 90 days, it depends upon the nature of goods or services, right? And negotiations will be done from purchase department of Tata Motor is going to negotiate with the vendor. Vendor means it's an organization most likely. So they'll be having their sales department. So negotiation will be done, and then finally they are going to agree on a particular payment terms, and based on that the payment is going to be made. So this is called B2B purchase or B2B sales. Even sales also there will be a different what do you say process, that is called O2C, order to cash. So that is also we are going to discuss in details in upcoming sessions when I cover FISD integration. There we'll see in detail, right? Now, so here what I said, why I have said like P2P, because as I said, like when the procurement, when the purchase is happening, this process we are going to follow, right? First of all, PO is going to be raised, then vendor is going to deliver the goods, vendor is going to send the invoice, and then after 30 days, let's suppose the payment is going to be made. Okay. Say for example, Tata Motor has to purchase stationery. Stationery means maybe 100 pieces of diaries, right? Or 50 pieces of diaries, or small notebooks, 200, 300, 500 pieces, 100, 200, 400 pieces of pencils, right? Erasers or pens, right? So it's all together it is going to be worth of how much, like let's suppose 5,000 or 6,000 or 7,000, right? Say for example, whatever, like let's suppose so this is like, okay, this is the case. Say for example, sometime what happened guys, they are going for somewhere like let's suppose month end is there, right? Month end activity happens. So in that case, that the team, in the sense like manager of that particular team, let's suppose account payable team, they decided that lots of activities need to be performed, right? So what they decided, they decided, okay, chalo, we'll do one thing. This Saturday we are going to come to the office to complete our backlog, right? So guys, that is the extra, what do you say, work being done by team. They're not charging any extra amount for that, let's suppose. So in that case, what is happening? In order to motivate or increase the morale of the team and all, that management decided to give a lunch party. In lunch break, they said like, okay, we are going to visit some nearby restaurant, right? So in restaurant all together, they are going to, with the entire team, how much? Maybe a 4,000 or 5,000 or 6,000 bill, right? So this is, so here team lunch, right? So now here, how much? 6,000. Likewise, multiple. Let's suppose let's suppose because it's an organization, right? Certain guest has visited their office. For them, they are going to order certain, like meals from local restaurants, right? So now what is happening? So maybe there is a bill, 1,500. So for these small expenses, right? Small expenses. If this says that no, you just do one thing while buying the meals, right? They'll say that okay, I'm just going to raise a purchase order to that restaurant, and then you deliver the meals. Along with that, you send us the bill also, and it is going to be posted today. And after 1 month, we are going to make the payment. Will they agree? Or this stationery means some small shopkeeper, nearby shopkeeper will be there. From there, they are going to buy the things, right? For team, let's suppose they have ordered certain tea or coffees, and certain snacks in the evening, right? Maybe some nearby, whatever the organizations are there, guys. If their corporate offices nearby, certain restaurants also will be there. So if they are going to order, for that hardly 2,000, 3,000 bill will be there. For that, if they are going to follow P2P process, Will they agree? No, it is not possible. It's a small amount, right? So here the P2P is going to be failed. No P2P, right? Credit purchase is not going to work out because people will not be agreed that I have to sell a goods worth of 4 5,000 rupees, or like whatever stuff worth of 3,000 to 4,000 2,000 rupees, and you are saying that you'll be paying after 3 months. Sorry, after 1 month. So no, right? So this is called here. The only thing is that is cash purchase. Cash purchase only is going to take this, right? So in certain cases, what is happening, guys? The P2P process is not going to work out, right? They're having Tata Motor is having a plant. In plant, let's suppose certain few small nut bolts are required. For that, they are going to visit a local hardware shop and they are going to buy it. No P2P process is going to work out, right? Some small electricity work is required in office or somewhere. It is a kind of service. They are going to work. They are going to invite some local electricians, let's suppose, and that person is going to fix the issue. In that case, what is happening, guys? It's a service. So if they are seeking for that, no, you just give us the invoice for that. It is not possible. They are the small people. They have done some work today and they are expecting the payment immediately. Right? I said in the previous session, I said one example, gardening expense. Right? Gardening expenses. So in Tata Motor, what is happening? Let's suppose there was a huge garden was there, right, which was being maintained by Tata Motor itself, right? So for that daily basis, they used to bring some local, what do you say, laborers and all. Those people are expecting the payment in cash itself at the end of the day. Now, so the payment, any such kind of small transactions, whatever is taking place, guys, where the payments are going to be made in cash only, right? Okay. Now, the next one is even not only in terms of expenses, even certain kind of revenue related transactions also, right? Let's suppose certain scraps are there, right? Let's suppose if like certain scraps in the sense like iron related or certain scraps are there. So whatever this small quantity of scraps are there, maybe worth of 10,000, 15,000, 5,000 worth of scrap, it is going to be sold to some local scrapper. If those people are going to buy, right, they will make payment. Small amount is there, mostly cash or check, right? So even that is also is going to be treated as a cash payment itself because small amount is there. For that again, they are not going to follow like they cannot create. We are not going to follow O2C process that okay this fellow is going to be set up as a customer and then we are going to post the invoice and then like multiple certain processes there, right? So in such a cases, what is happening, guys? This P2P or O2C process is not going to be followed. Simple cash related transactions are going to be posted here, right? Okay. Now the other benefit is I'll tell you. So as I said here, I have quoted certain example, right? I have quoted certain example. Likewise, thousands of transactions are taking place. Every transactions are in different nature. I said snacks, tea, coffee, some small equipments required in the plant that is going to be bought from local shop, somewhere from hardware, electricians, features. Sometime what is happening, like let's suppose in the corporate office or even in plants also, certain bulb, certain vapor lights. certain switchboards, right? Small like problems are there. So in that case, they are either, if within the organization, if somebody is there, it's okay, or else what happens, guys? They're going to invite somebody from outside, and that person is going to fix the issues, going to charge the money, right? For each and every activity, cash transaction is required, right? So thousands, several, kinds of transactions are taking place. Different types of transactions are there, right? Now, if I say that if we have any transactions related to rent or rent related, GL is going to be created. If any transactions related to audit fee related GL is going to be created. It is going to be, so those transactions are going to be posted in audit fee related GL. You have, like, let's suppose fuel expense, for that transactions are getting, let's suppose, right? Why separate GLs are there, guys? Separate GL means, let's suppose the transactions are frequently, these transactions are taking place, and it is having certain worth, guys. Maybe 20 lakh rupees or 25 lakh rupees. If we talk about Tata Motor, huge organizations, so they are not going to pay rent in 10,000, 5,000 and all. They'll be having multiple offices, maybe crores or rupees they are paying every year in terms of rents only, right? So of course, huge transactions, right? In that case, those transactions are going to be posted in a particular GL. Okay, it is a kind of expense. There is a kind of expense which must be included in your profit and loss statement, income statement, right? Whatever expense, whatever revenues are taking place, these all things. Likewise, multiple such kind of expenses and revenues are there, guys. For that, we need to set up a GL account. Several GL accounts are going to be set up, guys. Several GL accounts are going to be created, right? That is the one. Now, the next thing is, I said cash related transactions. Thousands of transactions or several thousand transactions are taking place in a month, right? I said a stationary, team launch, meals, or whatever small services are going to be, right? So now, for such kind of things, are we going to post these all things in a different GL? If thousand of different kind of transactions are taking place, if we are going to, if every transactions are going to be posted to the relevant GL, so for these small transactions also 1,000 additional GL need to be created. Additional GLs are going to be created. In certain GL, there might be hardly 10 transaction postings in a year. And what is the total worth of transactions? Might be 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 worth of transactions. So this is a very small transaction, guys, right? For such kind of the small transactions, it is impossible to open the GL accounts, right? Or else the consequences will be like, I'll tell you. So generally, right now we are having, like, total, say for example, 1,000 GL accounts are there. So what happened? Let's suppose, let's suppose 1,000 GL accounts are there. So then generally what happened? Then when the Tata Motor is going to publish the financial statement is the combination of income statement and balance sheet. In the sense, P&L account and balance sheet, right? So financial statement means it shows the performance of the organizations. How much worth of asset is there in the organizations? What is the overall liability is there on this organizations, right? What is the net profit, net loss, whatever it is earned by the organizations. So based on analyzing the financial statement, what happened, guys? Whoever the investors are there, they will decide whether this organization is good for investment or not, right? The company, if the more number of demand is there of the share, like if more demand is there of the company share in the market, then what happened? The share prices will go up. So whatever the net worth of companies are there, like it is going to be increased, right? Okay, multiple benefits are there. So now financial statement means if the financial statement is going to be published by organizations, they always try to make it as simple as possible, right? Now, as I said, like 2000, 3000, 4000 kind of different small transactions are taking place. And for those things, if we created a, for every transactions, if we created a different GL account, then what will happen, guys? Immediately, instead of 1000, 5000 GL accounts are going to be created. And if we have to add all this GL account in the financial statement, then this financial statement is going to become a very huge booklet worth of maybe 100 pages. Who is having that much time and patience to check these all things, right? So, I think most of the GL small worth of transactions are there, isn't it? So, what is happening, guys? In order to avoid creation of unnecessary GL accounts, where the small, what do you say, number of transactions are there, small worth of transactions are there, right? So, in order to avoid such kind of this one, we are having cash journal. Now, so that is the major use of cash journal, right? Now, the question is then how we are going to avoid creation of 2000 GL, 4000 GL, right? I'll tell you. When we have rent related transactions, right? This is the first thing. Okay. Since rent related transaction means big transactions, generally 5000, 4000, I'm quoting here example, but in real time, generally what is happening, guys? Lakhs of or 2 lakh or 5 lakh worth of rents are going to be paid because they are going to take entire premises, huge buildings. It's not 1 BHK or 2 BHK, right? Okay. So here I'm quoting a small amount, it's okay. So this is for Delhi office, then Mumbai office, for again Bangalore office, multiple offices will be there, multiple transactions are taking place and huge number of transactions are there. Likewise, we have audit fee, that is also not a small amount, and every frequently it is going to be, let's suppose audit related services, some different audits are going on, guys. In audits also multiple types of audits are there, right? So they have invited 2, 3 different organizations. For every organization's monthly basis, the payments are going to be made. Okay. So a different GL is there. Now, stationary purchase, right? Or this purchase of this or expenses that related team lunch, or is like purchase of meals or tea or coffee or snacks or small any other stuffs or items, right? For these things, what happened, guys? So, stationary purchase. If we create a GL, this does stationary account debit, right? And cash account credit because cash debit. Team lunch, let's suppose we create a GL account, team lunch debit, cash account. Meals, let's suppose a different GL. Or it's like small equipments, as I said, for that a different GL is created. Electrician related services we have taken, that is for somebody came and fixed certain issues in the office. If that is going to be posted in a different GL. So likewise, multiple GLs are there. So in that case, what happened? In order to avoid these all such kind of like multiple GLs, hundred of such kind of GLs will be there, guys. In order to avoid all these things, let's suppose we create a GL called cash purchase. So this GL account is going to be debited worth of, let's suppose, a particular amount. And then cash purchase, and then cash account is going to be credited. So this cash is nothing but, in accounting language it is called petty cash. Petty means what, guys? Petty cash means small transactions, small cash related transactions. Okay, so the real account is petty cash account is going to be CA. Okay, don't look at the spellings and all. No. Okay. So there might be some typing mistakes. Okay, look at here. So now what is happening, guys? This is the transaction. And then in text field, the way we have maintained, like narrations, purchase of stationery. Okay, this is the text we are going to specify. Purchase of stationery, right? Now, next time, again, team lunch, that is also a kind of cash purchase. Same thing. Same transaction is going to be posted worth of 1,500. Now here, right? Team launch, let's suppose related expenses is going to be, right? So whatever such kind of expenses are taking place, guys, right? Whatever such kind of expenses are. So look at the spelling, guys. It is, I think, this launch is having different meaning, I think, right? That is like when we launch the satellite and all. Anyway, so don't look at the spellings and all, guys, because while typing the fast, some mistakes happen. So now, so likewise, what is happening here? Instead of creating thousands of GL, we have created only one GL, cash purchase, right? All the expenses are going to be posted, right? Because cash account anyway you have to create. Stationary account debit, cash account credit. Team launch debit, cash account credit. Bills debit, cash account credit, right? Electrician services, let's suppose account debit, cash account credit. So cash account anyway it is there. So cash account is there, it is created. You say cash account or petty cash account, both are same. Okay. But instead of all these GL accounts, I have created only one account, that is called cash purchase, right? So that is going to be debited. So the moment we have created one GL account, it means no need to create thousands of GL accounts, right? That is what the benefit of cash separate. Here, in a single, what you say this one, we have eliminated creation of several thousand GL accounts or thousands of GL accounts or several hundred GL accounts, right? Likewise, what happened? Okay, Hamza is saying narration must. Yeah, narration must. Narration must. Narration must be there. This is how people will come to know that yes, this expense, this purchase is for this one, right? So narration must. So it's okay, guys. Narration must. It means narration must be a mandatory. Where the narration is going to be, guys, in text field. So make this text field as a required entry. Simple. If somebody has forgotten to enter the text details, nothing will happen. Sorry, the system should not allow him to proceed further, or system should not allow her to proceed further, isn't it? Okay. So in that case, you can make the text field as a required, right? These are the things. So likewise, all the cash related purchases, whatever small purchases. For that we have created a cash purchase account, and we have avoided creation of several hundred GL accounts. Likewise, sales. I said like scrap sales or any other kind of sales or other revenues are there. In that case, we create cash sales account that is going to be debited, and again your petty cash account is going to be credited. Right? Okay. Now, generally what happened, guys? Okay. So now again the question is there. The question is why cash journal settings? Smart people, right? Some of you, of course, cash debit, right? Yes, this is credit, this is debit. Sorry, the accounting entry was wrong, right? Yes, there is the correct accounting entry. Here, sales account is going to be credited and petty cash account is going to be debit. Right? We are receiving cash. So here what is happening? Increase in assets is going to be debited. Okay. So this is the accounting entry, right? So why the requirement of cash journal, guys? So here there is a benefit, right? Before that, as you guys like, you guys might be thinking, why to set up this? Why to do the cash journal related configurations? This transaction can be posted simply by using the way we are posting this rent and bank FD50, right? Or FD02 that I have already explained. In the same way, we can post this one also through FD50, through F-02, right? Through FB50 and through F-02. We can post this one also through FB50 or F-02. This transaction also we can post, right? So there is no issues. You can post. You can post. But there are certain things, like let's suppose, okay. So now here what happened? We have received, let's suppose we have, and there is a limit, guys. In petty cash, we can maintain 20,000 rupees. Let's suppose that is the limits. Country-wise, different limits will be there. Okay. So what happened? How these expenses are taking place? From finance and accounting, somebody is there. There will be a particular accountant who will be responsible for this all cash related transactions. Right. So amount of 20,000, let's suppose withdraw. It is handed over to that particular person, whoever this accountant is there. It is handed over to him. Right. Now, whenever any such kind of transactions are taking place, cash purchase of stationery. So let's suppose total transactions. What is the total today's total transactions? Let's suppose the interface, in the sense once you see the screen, the more clarity will be there. So cash purchase worth of 4,000. So first transactions worth of 2,000. First transactions 2,000, right? And here let's suppose remaining balance. This is called closing, but I'm not specifying exactly, that you can see on the screen itself. So here what is amount in hand, guys? This much, right? How? So I'll tell you, this much minus this much. Okay. Now this is the process, right? Then what happened, guys? Can we make it like minus here? Then what happened? Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, and if I make it plus 1000, then what happened, guys? Nothing. Okay. It's okay. Right? So again, cash purchase, team lunch, 2500. So total how much? 4500. So look at here. Here the balance is that this much cash in hand. You can say cash in hand. Right? Okay. Now, then what is happening? Let's suppose another 5000 worth of purchase. So total 9500. So this much cash in hand is there. Meanwhile, this scrap we had sold worth of 5000. So there will be increase in cash. So now it is how much, guys? It is only 4500 again. So again the cash is going to increase. So here itself the entire they can see that okay, this much amount is there. Cashier always going to tell you the amount. This much is showing the books of account. Let me check the amount in my pocket. It is this much on. So easily, if we do the cash journal related configurations, of course, I said these transactions can be posted through JV also. JV also. But if you see, if you are going to set up this cash journal related configurations, if we are going to maintain, then what happens? Certain reports are there that easily we can see. Okay, which is not possible. Cash purchase means what, guys? Like total purchase you can see, right? And that too, FBL3N. And let's suppose we are having cash sales, so that report you have to see separately. But here, whatever debit and credit is there, system is going to adjust. And let's suppose here, automatically, it is going to be visible that okay, this much is there in hand. And multiple other things also are there in the screen itself. I'll show you. So this is the advantage. It depends. Like you guys can say that okay, without configurations also we can proceed further, which happens sometime. If very small organizations are there, in that case we can skip also. Less number of cash related transactions are there, then they can maintain through this one only. Every 50 why to go for cash journal related configurations, right? But here we cannot skip. You have to become a consultant, right? So you need to know each and everything so that if anybody is going to ask the questions, you guys will be able to respond. And if you got some requirement from cash journal, let's suppose, so if you have the perfect knowledge, easily you guys are going to understand the requirement and 100% you guys will be able to provide the solutions as well, right? That is why I've given this much explanations. Look at here. Cash journal is used to manage companies' cash transactions. Advantage: all cash transactions are available at one place, right? All the cash related transactions are available. Like at bottom, let's suppose here multiple line items are going to be posted, right? And here some impact will be there. Like at bottom, what is happening? The line items are going to be posted. Different line items. Okay. Okay. Like this. A particular amount. And the impact is here. Okay. So at one place itself, all the cash related transactions will be available. Right? No need to visit go to this GL, then go to this GL or go to any other GLs, right? Okay. Second thing, cash position can be viewed at any point of time. Cash position can be viewed at any point of time. This position can be viewed at any point of time. You can check. This is the cash in hand. The moment it becomes your 18,000, right? It means cash in hand is 2,000. Less amount is there. Then again, additional withdrawal is going to happen. additional withdrawal is going to take place, right? Because cash in hand is less. Then cash transactions, receipts or payment can be easily analyzed on daily, weekly and monthly basis. Whatever cash transaction has taken place, out of these transactions, right? Which transactions are revenue related transactions? Which transactions are expense related transactions? That you can bifurcate easily, right? And then look at here, and all the transactions can be analyzed on daily. Today, what is the expenses? Cash expenses or cash revenue. Weekly, in this week, what is the total cash expense, cash revenue? In a month, easily you can see the reports, right? But by looking at this GL level, it's a bit complex. Date wise, you have to see, right? So date wise, if you're going to see again, first of all, you have to think or you have to use the Excel sheet, okay, or you have to open the calendar, right? Calendar of your laptop, that okay, this week. So this week, starting date is this one and ending date is this one. So you have to find out the transaction one by one. Okay, in this range, how many transaction has taken place? Then you are going to make a sum of those transactions, right? So it's taking time, guys, right? But here in cash journal, if you do the configuration of cash journal, then what happened? The reports are very user friendly. You can say handy report will be there. Handy report in the sense like I'm saying that on a single screen, everything you can see. No need to do any sort of work around, right? Work around means what, guys? SAP has already given us one configurations. SAP is saying that all the cash related transactions are going to be posted through cash journal. So you have to do your configurations, right? Now, since very less number of cash is taking place in a particular organization, let's suppose a small organization. So instead of doing configuration of cash journal, we just instructed user that you just do one thing. We are going to set up 2-3 GL account for cash purchase. Like we have set up cash purchase for cash sales. We are going to set up a cash sales GL account. Use these transactions. Sorry, use FB50 itself for the transactions. So this is called workaround. Workaround means I have given one alternative solution. In order to avoid this configurations, I have given one alternative solutions. Limited number of transactions are there, right? So if they want to see the report also, very limited number of requirements will be there, right? If a small number of transactions are there, then daily, let's suppose in a month, 10-15 transactions are taking place. For those people, there is no problem to check this daily or monthly or weekly because limited number of transactions are there. If thousands of transactions are taking place, in that case, what is happening, guys? Workaround is not going to work here, right? Because client want to see different position of their cash or the cash related transactions based on like daily or weekly or monthly or any periodic in the sense from this date to this date, right? So for that we have to do the configuration of cash journal, right? Now, so if you talk about cash journal, right, what kind of, like, first of all, certain transactions are taking place, right? Certain transactions are taking place. Which kind of transactions are taking place, guys? So entire transactions can be segregated in certain part. Entire transactions can be segregated in certain part. Okay. So look at here: cash withdrawal, cash purchase, cash sales, and cash deposit. I have segregated in 4 parts. If client want to add anything else here, we can, right? And how many sort of transactions are going to take place, guys? In the sense like entire transaction supposed to be segregated in 4 parts or in 5 parts or in 6 parts. That is not at all our choice, or we are not going to suggest anything. It's client who is going to decide what is best for their organizations, guys. You are a SAP FICO consultant, right? You're not a chartered accountant. isn't it? So your work is do the configurations. We have to configure SAP for the client, isn't it? So they will be having their own CA. If they have to discuss anything related to, okay, how many transactions we are going to maintain in cash journal related, like in cash journal, they will discuss internally, and then they are going to your requirement or our requirement or my requirement, or as a consultant you people are going to receive the requirement. Based on that we are going to start our configurations. So that is their internal matter. They will discuss. Finally, they will decide that, okay, we are planning to segregate all the transactions here in 4 part, 5 part, 6 part. Based on that, they will tell us, they will tell you people that these are the transactions which is taking place. And for these transactions, these are the accounting entry which is taking place. And based on those accounting entries, guys, simply we can decide that, okay, these many GL accounts are coming into picture. So we can set up those GL account, and then we can go for further configurations, right? So cash withdrawal, cash deposit, of course, these two transactions also will come into picture, right? If amount is being maintained by a cashier, the amount is not from his own pocket, right? It's of course going to be withdrawn from bank account. So a transaction is taking place, right? So I'll explain those things in details, and here the configurations, right? Configurations also I have to explain. Certain pretty unique scenarios are there that I have to explain, because I'll tell you guys, no matter whichever the topics are there, as I said, people always ask scenario based questions, right? So if you have perfect understanding, then you'll be able to understand the scenario, situation, and then you guys will be, if you are able to understand the question, 100% you guys are going to answer the questions. Where you guys are going to be wrong, if you are unable to understand the question itself, you won't be able to answer, right? Whatever, if some smart people are there, they make always blunder. Smart people means what they think. Okay, interviewer asks questions, they're asking something else, and they're trying to reply something else, right? They're very much happy that I'm able to convince the interviewer. I'll tell you guys, interviewers are having 12, 15 years of experience. A guy who is having 0 years of experience is trying to influence and trying to convince the interviewer, and that too, he himself is not confident that whatever answer is being given by him is correct or not, right? So in that case, interviewers are very clever, very, very like smart. From your answer itself, they'll derive the questions, right? You made one mistake. In order to cover up that mistake, again, you are going to make another mistake. Like that, you keep on making mistake after mistake. Ultimately, the interview, you scored negative mark, right? So that's what. Here, don't become smart and all. If you know the things, you can say, you can give the answers. If you don't know, simply you have to say that I need to update it, right? Such kind of, see, no one is perfect in the entire world, isn't it? If you talk about yourself, of course, you guys are in learning phase. If you talk about me, even I'm also not perfect. There are lots of steps. If you talk about configurations, there are multiple fields which I don't know the logic. Why? Because I haven't received any, let's suppose, such kind of requirement that could be a country specific settings and all, isn't it? But still, uh, whatever the topics are being covered, like in general, whichever things are being used, of course I have to cover, so that because the things are going to be asked or questions are going to be asked by people from those things only. It's not like they are going to ask the country specific settings and all, because that people are going to learn even in real time itself. So whatever the standard things are there which is being used throughout the world, from there itself, the questions are going to be asked, and my responsibility is to cover these all things, so that you guys will be, your confidence level is going to be increased, right? So we'll see in details, and apart from this certain scenario I have to explain, so that the understanding will be perfect, and then you guys will be able to answer the questions. So that's all in this session, guys. That's all for today. Any questions from you people?
So cash related transaction, cash journal is also having a reconciliation option as well. That's Hello?
Somebody is trying to say something, but guys, I'm not able to hear the voice. I don't know why. So
Hello? Can you hear me?
if anybody is able to hear the voice, can tell me, guys. I don't know my audio. Let me check. Okay, okay. Wait, guys. Wait. I think here. Just give me a second. Now, so what about my voice, guys? Was it audible to you people? Okay.
Yes, it's audible.
Okay, good. I think so. Chalo, ठीक है. Ask me the question.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah, you can ask.
Okay. So cash journal is important because it having cash reconciliation as well, or there is any other option we need to choose for the cash reconciliation type of things.
No, reconciliations and all we'll talk later. Right now, simple cash reconciliations or bank reconciliations. There'll be a separate what to say in upcoming session. We are going to have cash reconciliations will not be there. Bank reconciliation is going to happen, right? So reconciliation is a quite different things, isn't it?
Okay.
Which is a different concept. So will be discussed later in upcoming session, right? I'll tell you guys because as I said, like multiple topics are yet to come. Still, we are like because we are step by step we are moving further, isn't it? So this is how. So your cache related configurations in the sense cache journal is of course here certain this cache related transactions are going to be discussed. Whatever the question was asked will be those also things also will be coming into picture. But in upcoming sessions, slowly we are going to cover all those things. Any other question?
Yeah, yes, sir. So, this cash journal, will it be reported anywhere in the balance sheet, sir, in the financial statement, or will it be just a journal which we will maintain internally, and end of the month or end of the particular period we will move it to cash, or will it be reported in the
Of course
package?
it will
I
be.
mean, balance sheet.
It will be. I'll tell you there. If petty cash is there, right? So whatever the petty cash is there, let's suppose. So
Yeah.
in amount is there. So cash in hand, right? It must be specified. So again, as you said, like where it is going to be specified. So later we'll be having a topic called financial statement version. So once I start that topic, you guys will come to know, right? Financial statement once we are going to configure, then these all GLs are going to be adjusted over there. So which GLs are going to be adjusted, which not, that you guys can see practically that session. Okay. So again, as I said, uh, right now, if I'm going to say something, there are lots of people who won't be able to visualize that screen because I haven't covered that topic. So in upcoming session, automatically your question is going to be answered.
Okay.
Any other question, guys? Okay. So if no question, then see you guys tomorrow same time. Bye bye. Have a good day.